This is a KSLA News 12 special report. First Alert Weather Day, Icy Impact. Sponsored by Barksdale Federal Credit Union, Mattress Plus, and your local Rebath.
And good morning, everyone. I'm First Alert Meteorologist CJ Cartledge here, on with another update for you guys here. And we have been dealing with very cold temperatures throughout the daytime hours for today, but we're expecting to get even colder as we move into tonight here, where temperatures are going to be dropping into the single digits for some areas and into the teens for others here. It's more than likely going to be the lowest temperatures we have seen so far this season, and we have another chance to see that as we move into early Tuesday morning here. So as we start off the new work week, we will be dealing with a much cooler air mass here around the Arklatex, and unfortunately, this ice that we are seeing right now, looking live through our KSLA tower camera, sponsored by Mattress Plus, is here to stay for quite some time, at least until Tuesday afternoon. I'm giving too many spoilers here, but make sure to stay tuned to the forecast where we'll talk about the intricate details associated with what we can expect here around the Arklatex through the next couple of days. But we're looking at a pretty wintry scene as we're ending off this weekend on Sunday evening here at around 8 o'clock. So we're going to be diving into the forecast right about now. You can answer or you can ask questions here on the Facebook stream, on the YouTube stream, or on the KSLA News 12 app here. We're going to be streaming on all of those platforms throughout this quick little weather update that I wanted to give for you guys. And let's dive into some of the headlines here that we have to start off this new week in the weather here. Dangerously cold temperatures are expected across the area as we move into the start of this new week on Monday and Tuesday. Ice will finally start to melt here around the Arklatex by the time we hit Tuesday afternoon. And I'll talk to you in detail about why that may occur coming up in this forecast here. We're going to be staying dry with temperatures increasing throughout this upcoming work week here. So we will finally see a relief from these dangerously cold temperatures as we move through the rest of the week after Tuesday, or by more than likely by Tuesday afternoon and through the rest of the week here. But mainly associated with the very cold conditions that we can expect here through the next couple of nights ahead of us is an extreme cold warning, which started at 6 p.m. today. So around 2 hours ago, and it's going to last through the night tonight, through the day tomorrow, through the night tomorrow night, and into noon on our Tuesday. This is for every county and parish within the Arklatex, and I'm going to move myself off the screen here just to show you every area surrounding the Shreveport-Bossier area and around the Arklatex will also be under this extreme cold warning here, which is every county and parish that is shaded in the purple color that you see there on the screen. So widespread cold is expected here for the country as we move into the next couple of nights ahead of us, at least for us here. Some areas may see slightly warmer conditions than us through tomorrow night. But we are expecting very cold temperatures or very cold conditions heading into tonight and tomorrow night as well. Here's a look at the forecast for tonight. We should see cloud cover slowly decrease in the skies here around the Arklatex heading in, or at least for the Shreveport-Bossier area. This forecast is for Shreveport-Bossier, but we can expect the same thing for areas around the Arklatex. I'm going to move myself off the screen once again here because we can't see the temperature at 9 a.m. Temperatures will be dropping into the teens and single digits out there as we move into the early morning hours of our Monday here to start off the new week. But thankfully, many counties and parishes are not expected to be open in terms of schools, and some businesses are expected to be closed as well, or are closed as well for our Monday and Tuesday, mainly because of the seriously cold temperatures. As you can see there on the screen, as low as around 7 degrees by early tomorrow morning. Feels like temperatures, which you will see in a second, will be much lower as compared to the actual temperatures, mainly because of the northerly wind still flowing in from the north, obviously. But temperatures look to be at around 15 degrees for Minden and Homer, 16 by Ruston, 17 for Shreveport-Bossier, same thing for Mansfield, around 16 for Center, as low as 9 degrees up by Idabel, 7 degrees as mentioned before for DeQueen, and 14 for around Marshall here in East Texas. Looking at the feels like temperatures by early tomorrow morning, And this is more than likely going to be when we will see the lowest feels like temperatures for the daytime hours or for the night here. Temperatures will be getting as low as the negatives out there. Models are showing -4 potentially in terms of feels like temperatures near Idabel, around 2 degrees for DeQueen, -1 just below that freezing mark, or just below that 0 degree mark by Mount Pleasant, and around 8 degrees in terms of feels like temperatures here near Shreveport. So many of us will be dealing with single digit feels like temperatures, and most of us will be dealing with, or some of us actually will be dealing with temperatures in the teens and below 0 degrees out there here. So this is what we can expect through the daytime hours tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies and still dealing with the northerly winds here, which will make it feel just a little bit cooler out there across the Arklatex. Some of us in the negatives, as mentioned before, others in the single digits and teens, but we should see temperatures rise into the lower to mid 30s across the region. So it's going to be warming up pretty nicely for the Arklatex. More than a 30-degree increase here from the morning and the afternoon, but these temperatures are not enough to start the melting process for those roadways and the trees out there. They may be just above freezing, but we're not expecting much melting to go on here, as temperatures will be diving deep into the teens and single digits once again by early on Tuesday morning here. So maybe for a brief moment will temperatures will be back above freezing for many areas around the Arklatex, but they're expected to drop back below the freezing mark heading towards the late afternoon and evening on Monday. And by early morning on our Tuesday, we should see temperatures drop into a very similar range as what we will see for tomorrow morning. 12 by Marshall, 12 for Nacogdoches, 14 by Shreveport. Same thing for Homer and Ruston, as low as 6 degrees. Potentially, we could see even cooler conditions up there by DeQueen. Not too much cooler as compared to what we should see on Monday morning, but we should see maybe a degree or two lower in terms of lows for Tuesday morning as compared to our Monday morning here. Here's a look at forecast highs, though, reaching into the lower to mid 30s for our Monday, back well above that freezing mark heading into our Tuesday afternoon here. And we should see the 40s and 50s for highs through the rest of the week and into the weekend as well. Here's a look at our full 7-day forecast for you guys here. We're going under another KSLA First Alert Weather Day, mainly because of the seriously low temperatures that we can expect heading into tonight and into tomorrow night here around the Arklatex, and even highs only getting towards that freezing mark in some areas, just above the freezing mark for very brief moments in the daytime hours before they drop back well below freezing through the overnight hours. So anything that melts out there will refreeze by Monday evening. Anything that melts during the afternoon on our Monday will refreeze by the evening, as I want to say there. But heading into Tuesday afternoon, temperatures rise back above the freezing mark, and we could see, a bunch of melting and refreezing, but we should be doing more melting than refreezing throughout the rest of the work week, as temperatures will be rising above that freezing mark for much of the daytime hours, and we'll see a lot of sunshine as well. So we should see all this ice pretty much go away by the end of the work week that is coming up. It's still going to be a bit chilly out there across the Arklatex as we move through those the rest of the daytime hours ahead of us here. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. I don't see any comments over there in the Facebook stream. I'm not sure if too many people are tuning in. I believe around 18 viewers are tuning in as of right now. 19 viewers, I believe that is. And we haven't had a comment in quite some time here. I believe the stream has been going on for quite some time. So if you have any comments or questions there, make sure to leave them down in the Facebook comments or in the YouTube comments, which we are also streaming on. We have 7 concurrent viewers as of right now. And yeah, make sure to leave a comment if you have a question for me here. Yes, so we're going to be dealing with dangerously cold temperatures to start the week. Not so dangerous temperatures and dangerously cold temperatures by the end of the week. And by next weekend, we will be dealing with I wouldn't say mild. It's still going to be a bit chilly out there across the region with low rain chances. We're not expecting much rain ahead of us here. Only a 20% chance for rain for our Friday, which will be after a bit of a weak cold front moving through here. But we should see temperatures rise back into the 40s and 50s by the weekend, and lows still in the 20s out there. So below freezing temperatures are expected through quite a few mornings ahead of us, at least through 5 or 6 of the 7 mornings ahead of us here around the Arklatex. So make sure to continue to hunker down I would say, throughout, especially through the next couple of days ahead of us, as temperatures reach well below the freezing mark. With the ice that is on all of the power lines that may be in the power lines in your area, they can cause power outages, and they may keep the power off for quite some time here around the Arklatex, at least until the melting process, or at least the temperatures rise well above that freezing mark, which would induce that melting process for the ice out there around the region. Let's take a quick look at first alert traffic before I let you guys go, and maybe even dive into some viewer submitted photos and videos here. I know many of the photos and videos that have been coming in have been pretty much sledding all day. Everybody's having fun sledding out there, whether it's snow, sleet, ice, whatever it is. Everybody's sledding, and that's definitely a great sight to see from what we saw yesterday. And what I've been looking at for today has pretty much been the same thing, and pictures of people taking pictures of their backyards and such like that. But looking at some traffic incidents around the Arklatex as of right now, still dealing with the road closures near I-49 or along I-49 from LA 3132 all the way up into I-20. And we're also dealing with the road closure over there by Benton Road. Just zooming into that as of right now. This is just south of East Texas Street and just north of the I-20 construction zone area. And right off of the Benton Road exit here. So if you get off of the Benton Road exit off of I-20, I believe, then you'll be running into this road closure here, which is closed on both sides of the street. But we're also dealing with another roadway being closed over there by I-220. This is the ramp from I-220 on to transitioning into I-49. Actually, both ramps that are connecting these two interstates are closed as of right now due to icy roadways and due to the winter weather impacts that this storm has brought us. But outside of those road closures, we have been seeing a bunch of slow traffic throughout this weekend, which is definitely a great sight to see, mainly because the reason why it's a great sight to see is because we know that people are driving slow out there on those roadways, which is exactly what we advised here at KSLA News 12, and our KSLA First Alert Weather team has been stressing to you guys throughout this weekend here. And looking over to the western portions of the Arklatex here, or at least the western half of the region, just west of Shreveport along I-20, still dealing with the slower traffic heading towards the Texas state line there. And even heading into Marshall, dealing with some slower traffic over there as well. Just a lot of construction areas, which is what that cone emblem or cone sign is basically denoting. I believe I had seen a crash icon, but I did not see one there. Okay, we're gonna zoom up to Texarkana to see what's going on up there in those roadways. Texarkana is mainly seeing the construction zone areas along the I-30 corridor. That's where most of the traffic is as of right now, and along I-369 as well. I-49 looking mostly clear out there. So looking along I-30 though, dealing with some stop and go traffic as of right now, heading westbound, that is. Heading eastbound, still dealing with slower traffic, slower roadways. Everybody's heading slow on the roadways right now. But stop and go traffic is in effect right now by the eastbound route, or the westbound route, excuse me, of the I-30 interstate there. It's more than likely due to construction ongoing in that area that may or may not be ongoing. I'm not sure if the workers are out there in the ice and such like that, but I could see them being out there during this time. There's also a road closure there by Oil City, just to the north and west of Oil City. It looks like just east of I-49. This is by LA Highway 530, and to the west of LA Highway 71 there, just to the north and west of Belcher. There's a road closure right there, more than likely due to construction, mainly because of that cone icon that I see there on the screen. But that's a gist of First Alert traffic as of right now. I'm going to check back to see if there's any comments or concerns. How does I-49 look? Husband has work tomorrow. So we just looked at I-49. We're going to give you, okay, thank you. Okay. Somebody just asked, what does I-49 look like for right now? And it looks pretty slow right now, mainly because of everybody going slow out there on the roadways. So just another look at I-49 for you. Leaving the city, leaving Shreveport Bossier seems to be a bit slow out there. But heading northbound, still dealing with slower traffic up there, and heading northbound towards Texarkana, things look to lighten up a little bit, heading towards Ida and that Louisiana Arkansas state line. And once you get to Texarkana, that's when traffic starts to build up a little bit more here. If you're heading southbound along I-49, though, there is some slower traffic ongoing right now, heading southbound on the I-49 interstate, heading towards Natchitoches, and heading towards the Natchitoches area. Things look to smooth out a little bit more. So I-49, just slower traffic is ongoing. There's no accidents ongoing right now, but I believe there's an accident over here. No, this just is a road closure is what I believe. It might be an accident. That looks like a accident icon right here. Let's take a look at some of the details. I-20 eastbound by Simsboro is dealing with a roadblock between exit 69 and LA Highway 151 Hazel Street, exit 77 LA 507 Martha Street. That was reported at 2:45 this afternoon. I believe I talked about that in the afternoon updates as well. And there's also another closed roadway, I believe this is. Yes, near I-20 westbound. This is near Elm Street and exit 86 Service Road. So yes, this is along I-20, road closure along I-20 westbound near Summersboro and Arcadia. Let's take this off of the screen. And then near Trudrant, that's on the very edge of the Arklatex, I believe that is, yes. Near Trudrant, if I'm pronouncing that right, hopefully I am. There's a road closure along the eastbound route of I-20, just by Ruston, around Ruston, to the east of Ruston, that is. Yes, no problem. Miss Madeline says thank you. And I believe that's going to be it for this part of the stream. We're also going to be streaming live at 9 p.m. right before the 10 p.m. show for tonight. So make sure to stay tuned to the latest updates we have here around the Weather Center here. The Weather Center is quiet, just like how it is outside. It's pretty quiet here at the KSLA News 12 station here, mainly because of the wintry precip that has died down here. But I'm still here to keep you weather aware and keep you first alert to the latest updates we have here coming into the newsroom and the temperatures that we have coming up, which are going to be dangerously cold. Allow your pipes to drip through the overnight hours, by the way. I know some people that have forgotten to allow their pipes to drip, and they dealt with lower water pressure in the morning. I believe that doesn't necessarily stop the water pressure, but it could definitely help your pipes not to be frozen. It could help them, regulate its temperature, because when you close the pipes off, the water has nowhere to go, and with the freezing temperatures that are expected, it's easier for them to just tighten up. So if the water's moving smoothly, it's a lesser chance that the pipes will freeze up out there. So allow your pipes to drip, or allow your faucets to drip, that is, through the overnight hours for tonight, so that you can prevent your pipes from freezing, let alone any types of bursting going on. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this live weather update we have here on our streaming platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and the KSLA News 12 app. I'll be back at 9 p.m. with another update, and I will leave you with this loop once more just to show the road impacts for the next couple of days ahead of us, as well as a live look at the radar and road conditions here around the Arklatex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in at 8 p.m.